Hey everyone, this is Emanuel here. Excited to continue reading these pages here in the body code. I took a lot of notes this time. We're talking about different pathogens, and it's interesting because I have to work on an allergy that I may have, maybe a mold issue at our house. So just like right above on the second floor, just a little mold there, and we're trying to get it taken care of. But we had our sons go to this room and they weren't breathing well, and I was sneezing upstairs. So I'm pretty sure if I sneeze or I have to leave this video, then it's real life right here, you know? So speaking of pathogens, right here, it could be in your very home. I actually have a client who, I believe in her basement, she had mold the whole time, gave her a ton of physical symptoms that added up and basically compounded over time. So you do need to check your house if you have mold. If you do have any questions about that, just kind of throwing it out there, my father-in-law, Lane, and my brother-in-law own a mold company to assist with mold removal. But what's different about them is that they go into your house and you don't have to, basically leave your house for 2 weeks. The products they use are so natural that if it were to fall on your sandwich, you could just eat it. And no issues or no chemicals would go into your body in a negative way. So if you do have mold or you know somebody who has mold, again, I wasn't planning to make this a mold commercial, but feel free to email us and then we can try to see if we can help you out. Okay, so let's see. So page 152, it talks about how Dr. Brad removes a cough from someone. Do you guys remember that? So he removes a cough from someone, but then he starts coughing. Sometimes when we do our sessions, we are courting with people, especially if you're a practitioner and you work with people. There's a tendency for the clients who receive so much help from you to court with you. So you might want to remove all cords. Sometimes after a really long day, I'll pray, just ask for help that no cords attached to me and that they can all leave. That's number one. Number two is you might absorb energies from people. As you're corded to someone, you could absorb their energies. Number three, there's a thing called biolocation. I've talked about this before. I don't want to kind of spend a whole lot of time talking about it, but there is a way that you can meditate in your mind and ask to biolocate somewhere else. And this could be, for me, it's Arcturus, which is this really, really old star. But I resonate with Arcturus, and there's even a heart chakra for Arcturus, and that's kind of where I stay pretty much the whole day. I never really come down until after I'm done with my sessions. Then I can kind of come down, and I'm very present with people because I'm not attached to people. It's interesting. You can be more present and more intuitive, more psychic, due to the fact that you are not connected to people. Otherwise, if you're absorbing too many things, your mind can get convoluted. You're not thinking clearly. So you can do that. Go in your mind. Where do you want to go? Another great place to go to, if you want to write this down, is Glastonbury. If you look up Glastonbury, they consider that the heart chakra of the earth. The earth in itself, Mother Earth, has a chakra. And so the system of chakras. Now, where you want to be, the ideal place for healing would be the heart chakra, which contains and promotes wellness, well-being, unconditional love. So just maybe meditate in your mind, say, I have the intention to move and to biolocate to the heart chakra of the earth, which is Glastonbury. You can put yourself in a container and basically start doing a session, and then ask that every client that you meet to put them in a container so that you're not absorbing energies from them. I do this all the time, and it really, really works. I mean, it'll be a night and day difference. Try not just going through your regular sessions, or try doing it with the way I just told you. It's very different the way you feel. Also, he talks about exhaustion. If you see, I think it's like the 5th paragraph, it says, while I was taking the body code certification course, I had a volunteer who was exhausted, as if the body's resources were being drained. In the person's first session, identify and resolve viral, bacterial, parasitic, pathogen energies. Also, all these different things could also be spirit out of body. Because it says at the bottom, it says, before my session, I literally felt like I was dragging my body around. And that quote there is very similar to what I've heard Brad say about that everything is a drag when your spirit is out of the body, and that it causes you to feel like drudgery and dread throughout the day. So if you feel that way, if you feel like, oh, I gotta go through the day again, oh, whatever, sure, you may have some pathogen affecting you, but more likely to is spirit out of body. Test to see if your spirit is fully in your body. If it says no, then say, how much is it in my body? More than 10%, 20%, 30%? I'll even check myself right now. You guys mind if I check? 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90. Oh, no 90. Less than 90, 89, 88, 87, 86, 85, 84, 83, 84. I'm at 84%. I'll fix that by tonight. I'll figure out what that's all about. But yeah, so you can test yourself to see how much your spirit is out of your body. Obviously, if you're at 0, you're dead. So probably can't even muscle test because you're dead. But 5%, you're like barely hanging on, you know? I remember Brad talked about somebody who got into a car accident, and he was, I guess, sitting beside him or close to him, and he saw like a vision of like the whole body, spirit body, sticking out from the physical body. It was like hanging by a toe. That's a more exaggerated spirit of the body experience. Okay, so page 153, to release the energy of a pathogen or parasitic infection, simply focus on the pathogen as being a cloud of energy in the body. This is super cool. You can identify location as pathogen cloud if you want to, but it may not be necessary. Then swipe a magnet to release it. That's interesting. So picture like a little cloud of energy in the body. Also, let's talk about page 154. It talks about sometimes these things that are recommended. For example, olive leaf extract, colloidal silver. Because of that, sometimes it's just enough to energetically send it to somebody. You don't have to. They don't have to physically have support. And I ask that question. That's the exact question I ask: is can I would it benefit them to energetically send it to them? Yes. Okay, so I'm swiping it and I have the intention of sending olive leaf extract or colloidal silver to the body. Did their body accept it? It did. Okay, so then I would say, does the body still need physical support? And if it says yes, you can say, okay, then you can like go on Amazon and be like, which colloidal silver would benefit you? That one. Okay, how many bottles do you need? 2 or 3. I recommend TRS. If you don't have TRS, then you can email me below, Compasshealingcenter@gmail.com. That's my favorite one. I don't have it with me, but it should be in my kitchen. But I do use that. It has so many benefits to remove heavy metals from the body. That's for if you have heavy metals. Colloidal silver, I don't think we have that, but we should. But I heard it has a lot of benefits. Again, don't overconsume it. Some YouTube videos will say you're going to turn blue, you're going to turn into a Smurf. It's because they're overly consuming it. They said here it's kind of cool if you have red eye to put some droplets in there. You can muscle test to see how many droplets and how frequently during the day and how long you should take it for. So you can get really, really specific on consumption. With parasites, it's interesting. Sometimes you will test negative for them, but then you'll test. Remember, he said, I think in paragraph 4, that do I need a particular anti-parasitic supplement or herb? And the answer was yes. And Brad was confused. How is that? You just said tested no for parasites, but you tested yes for anti-parasitic supplement of an herb. And that's because they have found ways to hide themselves. Again, similar to cancer, you can't muscle test anybody who have cancer. Very, very shady, very dangerous. Don't let any practitioner tell you, oh yeah, you do have cancer. It's like, that is so dangerous. Because, first of all, that's assuming that they're very good at muscle testing. Number 2, that puts you in a fear state. Number 3, what if you don't have cancer, but now you're getting chemo? I mean, there's just so many horrible ramifications. I would never do that. I've never done that with any client for 9 years. Let me test you for cancer. I've never done that. Also, if someone's been sexually abused, yeah, let me test if you have been. I never, ever test that. If a practitioner is doing that, that's no. They shouldn't be doing that. Okay, let's keep going here. Page 156. It's interesting. It says gout used to be known as a disease of kings in medieval times. because only those who are very wealthy can afford to drink wine and eat red meat, which are the sources of uric acid. So I found that sometimes by putting a patient on anti-parasitic herbal supplements, his or her gout would disappear. Again, pathogens are really detrimental. It even says if you keep them long-term, on page 157 on the top, it says it can lead to severe and dangerous diseases such as ulcerative colitis and Crohn's disease. Crohn's disease in the emotion code is mentioned there, that even if you didn't use anti-parasitic supplements, it talks about how a lot of it could be emotional, Crohn's disease. Page 158, I think it's the 5th paragraph. It talks about how many people actually, how testing for parasites, muscle testing, can be even more accurate than actual real testing. In fact, in the Inner Voice, if you guys have the AO scan, if you don't, my wife can give you a $44 Inner Voice, which is so worth it. Think about it. If you email me at compasshealingcenter@gmail.com, if you reach out to say, hey, Emanuel said something about an Inner Voice, what is it? Basically, it tests between 8 to 10,000 things coming from your voice and frequencies, and it tells you which emotions you're overusing, which ones you're suppressing, and how it's affecting your body. And in there, sometimes they'll have what they call a mini vital scan, which talks about certain pathogens that you have in the body. Now, here's the trick part, not the trick, but here's the impressive part. It's the physical and the energetic. So both, they can be looked at, because what happens is you're getting this scan through your body, and the frequencies can now, everything has a frequency, your organs, your glands. Pathogens also have a frequency. So if something is off when it's like scanning the body, it will let you know, like there's a parasite here, there's mold here, or whatever. And if they're energetic or they're physical, I would just remove it, So I think it's really, really powerful to do that, to get an Inner Voice, get a mini vital scan. If you're someone that's been dealing with a lot of illnesses, I would do a full body scan. So if you're dealing with a lot of like fibromyalgia, Lyme disease, bigger stuff, ask my wife for a full body scan. You'll be super impressed. It's almost like getting a $30,000 blood work done over the phone using your voice. I mean, it is mind-blowing. But in that, again, they do, if you went to a testing for a doctor, they wouldn't tell you that you have parasites energetically. You guys get that, right? They wouldn't also acknowledge miasms, which can also be found energetically through the body code or through the AO scan biofeedback technology. So we're coming into society, if you really want to look at your overall health, we're coming into the world where the physical tests are not as good as tapping into your subconscious using muscle testing. And on top of that, the fact that we can acknowledge inherited, energetic, and physical, that's more levels than most tests will ever do. Maybe they are doing pretty good with the physical, but your muscle testing is better, and it has energetic, and it has inherited. So, and that's what's kind of cool, is the AO scan kind of, how do I say this, couples with it as well. So, okay, so page 159, it talks about how you can change your diet. That somebody's pH level is kind of low, which is very bad. It's very acidic, which they're probably eating a lot of red food, parasites, a lot of meat, a lot of coffee, acidic drinks. And basically it says the normal range is 7.3 to 7.5. A lot of greens can help you out with that. Vegetables, water with higher pH, lemon water. Those are just some tips for you for increasing your pH. You can actually get pH strips and put it on your tongue and see, where your pH level. My mom used to do it all the time. She used to test the cancer patient's urine, and she would have the urine there. She'd put the pH in there, and her goal was to get them back into 7.0. Cancer are way low. It's like 6, 5.5. They have a very acidic system, and that's what wakes up those cancer cells. And so also with 160, it talks about in step 4 how a pathogen, you release it and it goes, like, if it says no, then you like ask for a prayer, really feel love and gratitude, and then try it again. It says yes. Just so you know, that's kind of like an 80-20%. 80% is going to say yes, you removed it. 20%, you might need that prayer, that love and gratitude. But I really feel like, not that he needs to mention in there, but I just feel like that's rarely happened with me. So I feel like it's 80, 90%, even 90%, it'll say yes. But sometimes you do need to have that extra push, that divine help from above. So feel free to comment below what stood out to you, what caught your attention. I'm excited to read what your feedback was. What was your favorite part? What little notes, what commentary do you have about this? So I know you guys are great practitioners out there as well, and just love to hear what you have to say. And also too, if you haven't joined Heal yet, we're still doing group healing. This week has to do with inherited emotions, inherited curses, inherited things that have caused issues like physical symptoms and emotional symptoms in your family. That is still happening right now this week. If you want to be involved, again, email us at compasshealingcenter@gmail.com. Thank you guys for tuning in. And don't forget to join Heal too, haveempathyandlove.com. It's a free social media platform we made. And I look forward to seeing you guys there. Take care.